Hello everyone, welcome to Crypto Morning on Monday, October 21st, 2024. New week, new adventure as always on Mondays, but this week I think we're going to experience a week that'll make history, which is why I titled it, Welcome to the New World. Many, I believe, have never experienced what we're about to in the coming days and weeks. I have updated that famous map for you because to me, crypto markets are cyclical. October's cyclical nature is clear, and when September's green, we typically see an average 25% increase. We've already seen 10%, so I think Bitcoin still has another 10 to 15% growth potential before the month ends. Also, don't forget that all American indices are at all-time highs. We'll need to watch closely this week. Is there profit-taking or a pullback, which would be normal, or will the momentum continue pushing the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and Nasdaq higher? These indices are clearly driven by Nvidia, which is close to becoming the world's largest company. Now, what's really interesting is that this month's last Friday, which is this Friday, is the monthly options expiry day, even though the month isn't over. It's always the last Friday. I love this. At the start of each month, we look at options. We're at the 61,000 with a max of 64,000. There are huge volumes at 70,000, which is quite impressive. People are betting on Bitcoin above 70,000, and that's where the biggest volumes are. The max pain point has exploded, and we're seeing volumes. Plus, it's around 5 billion. But what's positive is that compared to early month, max pain's up 10%. Looking at unlocks, we're really starting to see the usual suspects. Axie Infinity's back. Arbitrum still at 2.57, and Gunlayer announced this week. Arbitrum 2.57, Gunlayer 6, and in just 1 month, 114% increase. So expect a token explosion soon. It's interesting to look at monthly. Axis this week, 6%, 2%, don't know that one, 29%. These are tiny volumes. The ones releasing tons of tokens are mostly ICOs. I've said it before, it's so bad I'd almost call them scams. The token dump is awful. 6% this week, 114% in a month. That means tokens doubled in a month. These projects are truly terrible. That's why I always insist on telling you to avoid wasting your time with all these projects. We talked about this yesterday in the flash update. It's great that USDT never printed $120 billion. Imagine that. It's very positive, and we often see it's an intermediate phase. We first add USDT, and then it's used to buy as it provides immediate liquidity. We saw this over the weekend, and we'll discuss it later. AppCoin exploded with massive volumes. So let's see how this plays out. It's the new token for Solana's meme coins, and it's coming soon. We'll hear about it quickly. Should we jump in? I don't know much about it, and I'm not too interested. Personally, I don't think it'll interest me much. Many YouTubers have been saying for years that Ethereum would surpass Bitcoin's market cap in 5 or 10 years. They kept predicting when Ethereum would overtake Bitcoin. This weekend, Bitcoin added $1 trillion in market cap over Ethereum. Ethereum's worth about $300 billion, Bitcoin $1.3 trillion. Is it because of the ETFs? No, there are Ethereum ETFs too. It shows there's still a big gap between Bitcoin and the rest. And there's a huge gap between Ethereum and other cryptos too. But Bitcoin is in a league of its own. I wonder if there's even a bubble around stablecoins. Everyone wants stablecoins these days. Stripe, a huge US company, is buying Bridge, a stablecoin platform, for $1.1 billion. It's one of the first takeovers of a blockchain platform. Mergers with Asia have been disappointing so far. We haven't seen acquisitions, but I think they'll increase like in traditional finance. I think that's going to be the next big thing. It could be bullish too. Maybe one day, I don't know, but imagine Ethereum buying Solana. Vitalik Buterin sends odd signals, but he actually communicates well. His main concern is centralization tied to big staking protocols. You know, Lido and such. I think they're the ones being targeted. He says it's Ethereum's biggest risk, centralization with big validators holding 10, 15, 20, 30, maybe 40% of tokens in the future. It's a negative view, but then he does an interview explaining he has a solution. He's communicating a lot, preparing us for the surge, which he claims could allow Ethereum to handle over 100,000 transactions per second. So when will they deliver the surge? Will it be in 2027, 2032, or 2036? That's Ethereum's problem. But it's still exciting because at 100,000 transactions per second, all Ethereum killers can pack up. Following AppCoin, which we discussed, AppChain launched yesterday. AppChain is now live, and it's a really interesting blockchain that relies heavily on layer 0 for bridging, but also on Arbitrum. So it's super interesting. I've started studying it, and the first figures have just come in. Huge start, 25 million in trading during the first 12 hours. Imagine that. It's brand new. Just launched with lots of incentives and pools and a ton of activity, 62,700 transactions at launch. So there you have it. There are memes, of course, and maybe AppCoin is reigniting the NFT craze. AppCoin's now worth $1 billion with 2 billion traded. At this rate, it'll hit the top 50 soon. It's the biggest comeback in a weekend. That's what's great about crypto. My investment was painful, still is despite the rise, but it moves incredibly fast. You can be down 30% on some lines, and in 2 days you're up over 50%. That's what's truly amazing, but not all will do it at once. Gradually the altcoins will perform. We had decent volumes for a Monday, 18 billion for Bitcoin, Ethereum at 14 billion. It'll rise like every week. We've talked a lot about NFTs. I mentioned them this weekend, forgot about Ethereum, but let's check the chart. Bitcoin is finally exploding. Now, if we dive into details, we're reaching the next level. We're really taking off. We need to confirm this daily, so we need another day, another daily above this range, then gradually look at the next levels. We're battling this higher zone now, then there'll be another higher zone and another. We have several, but these are small battles in my view, and there could be an escalation of short squeezes. Then there's Taro, which a while back in early October had a golden cross with 50-200 moving averages. Now it's the second blade, the 100-200 moving average, where it'll be perfect, where I see huge potential, where Taro will really go crazy, is when we get the average mobile 150 like this. The 100 and especially the 200, which is horizontal, will start to become vertical. There we go. We can now engage the second part of the rocket on tout, then atoms, because, this project has been buried by many, but I still believe in it. At these levels, imagine how fast it could go. If I just look at this level, it's tripled. That's not the case yet, but at least it's showing the first signs of reversal. FTM on an incredible run, nearly tripling from its lows in early August. What an exceptional comeback for FTM. Next, I really want to show you this. Look at AppCoin in the last 24 hours. It had such massive trading volumes that even in 2022, we didn't see volumes like this. The only time we saw this was for 3 weeks in AppCoin's history, right at its launch, when we had higher volumes than what we saw yesterday. It's really striking because when you see a structural change like this, it keeps dropping. But when you see this pattern change with this volume, it's significant. Obviously, we shouldn't chase big green candles, but on dips, I think AppCoin is sending a huge signal. Let's look at the daily chart, massive candle. Look at the whole year. This candle has 30 times the daily volume of the entire year. With these volumes, it's almost as much as the whole year combined. When you see changes like this, it was bearish, then boom, it breaks all moving averages, 50, 100, 200, with massive volume. It could be the big surprise in coming weeks or year end. It's exciting, as I know many people hold it. Personally, that's the case, and well, this little effort seems to be paying off. In the wake of AppCoin, I think AppCoin is showing some big green candles. I believe there's still huge potential for AppCoin, but it's not the right time. However, on the same theme, there's Illuvium. It's high, and it seems to be really bottoming out from its drop. It hasn't shown much yet, but very quickly it could reach the 66 zone. I think in just a few days it might gain 50%. It's so low right now, and now it's attempting to turn around. I think it's at a better point now. So that'll be all from me. I wish you a good day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.